Yeah. Oh, well, that was a hard day at work. Thank goodness I've got 12 hours to play my MMO uninterrupted.
Nah, the sink's leaking. It's the water's coming out. Not everywhere, but it's leaking. It needs sorting.
Okay, guys, so Axiomin is one of the toughest raid bosses in the game. We're going to need extreme coordination for this. So everybody on me, listen to...
Nah, I'm going out. Don't forget I'm expecting a parcel. You listen out for it.
I just want to ride around on my horse.
Nah.
Just want to ride around on my horse.
Do you want to talk?
I just want to ride around on my
Nah, the
horse.
sink, it's leaking
I just
again.
want to ride
There's
around
water
on my
everywhere.
horse. No, I'm not a marriage counsellor, nor am I an MMO expert, but I am a person who is married and plays MMOs. It wasn't that easy to split my time between my wife and games at the start, so I must have learned something or changed my behaviour or done some flipping thing, because now I seem able to do it. So in this video I'm going to try and figure out exactly what that change has been, and in so doing maybe help some people who are struggling with the same issues. Quick caveat, although I hope this video will be applicable to anyone with a partner, I will be speaking from my own experience, and I happen to be a white, heterosexual male. I can't help it, I was born that way. If I do make sweeping statements about the opposite sex or neglect some of the newer, trendy agendas, I am sorry about that. I also can't pretend to be of a different ethnic background or cultural heritage. Well, I suppose I could, but that would be a different kind of video. That would be a racist video, and I would quite like to not be a racist. Seriously though, I feel like wherever we're coming from, there are certain things that are universal, like respect, consideration, love, and sacrifice that are applicable to all of us. With that said, I got married 6 years ago, and initially things did not go well. I found that I could no longer start and stop playing MMOs exactly when I wanted. Instead, I had to make allowances for the fact that there was another human being in the house, and she had her own ideas. What's more, she seemed stubbornly attached to them. She also had her own timetable of work and hobbies that she seemed determined to stick to. In short, it was infuriating. Instead of being able to bring game sessions to a satisfactory close, sometimes I had to stop halfway through a quest chain, or go to bed before sorting my inventory and selling all my junk. It was almost as if the wife thought MMO gaming was secondary. I know, selfish. I hit upon a plan. I would try to make her see how important gaming was. Explain to her calmly but reasonably why it was so frustrating to have to stop halfway through a quest or a raid. I was playing with people and these people are relying on me. Or I explained patiently, the human mind is driven by goals, and if my goals are not achieved at the end of a gaming session, that's why I get grumpy and I don't want to talk anymore. Of course, this worked like a charm and she fell into line, mending her ways quickly and never interrupting me ever again. That last bit was a joke. Sometimes I have to point out my jokes because they're not very good. Obviously, the rational, reasoned approach wasn't working. Perhaps, I thought, this was to do with the pop psychology I'd read, suggesting that women were much less analytical and intellectual than men. In order to make her understand, I would need to be more emotional, let her see how annoyed I was, in a very loud voice. From the couch that night, I considered once again where I might be going wrong. Reason nor emotion seemed to be working. No matter what I did, I seemed unable to make her understand how important it was for me to be able to game when I wanted, for as long as I wanted. I had a dream that night. Like Frodo in The Lord of the Rings, I saw the Shire in flames and poor hobbits wandering through the fallout of Saruman's lust for power. Unfortunately, this dream was no use to me at all. It's not like the Scoured Shire was my marriage or that I was becoming Saruman. I needed actionable ideas, not dreams about the anticlimactic endings of fantasy epics. I'd like to say that I met some quirky character on the roadside and he taught me the true nature of sacrifice, but I didn't. Life, unlike stories, does not follow a clear narrative structure. I didn't watch a TED talk either, or seek marriage counselling. What happened instead, slowly, almost imperceptibly, was that my priorities changed. Gradually, the games I was playing became less important because the happiness of having someone in your life you truly love was so much more rewarding than any quest chain or loot drop. Gradually, I became able to think about a few different things at once. The game and my responsibilities to another human being at the same time. Returning to pop psychology, there's sometimes a bit of truth behind the cliche, and it seems to me women are more naturally able to multitask than men. Maybe multitask is the wrong way of thinking about it actually. More able to think about someone other than themselves. I feel like my wife taught me how it's possible to be passionate about your work or your hobbies, but not let them consume your every waking thought. It would be a lie to say that I've never been frustrated since when I have to stop playing a game, but that frustration doesn't make me angry or resentful anymore. How did this happen? As I say, I wish I could tell you. Truth is, I don't know. But I think there are some changes all gamers need to make once they get married, have responsibilities of any kind, kids, whatever it may be, particularly MMO gamers, since we can't stop, fix the sync and come back to exactly where we were. We can't pause the game like we can with a single player game. And if you'll forgive me, I've written a list of those changes. 1. Stop thinking what you want to do is the most important thing in life. It isn't. It never was. If you had a relatively average upbringing with caring parents, then you were probably afforded the luxury of thinking what you wanted was central to all existence for far too long. The sooner we all realise that the world is about more than us, the better. Number 2, be open to the idea of sacrifice. I feel the necessity for sacrifice was something that stopped me getting married for quite some time. What I didn't realise was that once you meet the right person, the sacrifice doesn't really feel like a sacrifice anymore. Well, it does, but slowly you get used to it and you don't resent it. You end up wanting to do it because the person you're doing it for is more important than the thing you're sacrificing. Number 3, remember that games should really enhance your life or be a source of consolation. They should never be the meaning of life itself. If raiding or leveling up or increasing your gear score are occupying your thoughts while your significant other tries to unburden about their difficult day, then it is possible that you haven't got your priorities straight yet. 4, but don't give up on games. If everything is working as intended, then your partner should feel the same about accommodating your passions as you do theirs. All that has to happen is that your shared desires become part of a whole, not islands of obsession that exclude all else. Let me know what your experience has been once you started to share your life with another person. Maybe you met a partner who loves gaming. This is something I've never encountered, so I can't really speak to it, but I wonder if there are challenges involved there too. Maybe you share a PC or an Xbox and you don't want to play the same game at the same time. Might that be the quibble that mounts up to the Mordor of divorce? Let me know in the comments. I've been Napier, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.